There's a lot of buzz about 50-year mortgages, and we don't have enough information to know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing. But the numbers don't lie, so let's dive into the math. If you were to buy a $750,000 house with a 20% down payment and a 6.25% interest rate, you'd have a principal and interest payment of about $3,700. Let's assume we had a 50-year fixed mortgage at the same interest rate. That payment would drop to $3,269, a savings of almost $424 per month. But what we know to be true is that typically the longer the term of a mortgage, the higher the interest rate. So we can't expect that a 50-year loan would have the same rate as a 30. At 6.75%, however, we would still see $200 a month in monthly payment savings over the 30-year option, which might be enough to help somebody get into the market. Now you're going to hear, well, the overall cost is tremendously more expensive, and that's true. If you kept that loan for its entire life, after 30 years, you'd spend $729,000 in overall interest. On the 50-year option, that would almost double to $1.5 million. However, on average, we don't usually see people keep their loan for its entire life. People do something with their mortgage within 5 to 7 years. So over a 5-year period, that 50-year loan costs about $200,000 in interest compared to the 30-year, which is at $180,000. That $20,000 might be the difference for somebody entering the market or not entering the market. Let's look at the first-time home buyer. So if we have somebody who's paying $3,500 of rent, in 5 years, they're going to spend $210,000 on rent alone, have no equity to show for it, and no ownership position. On the 30-year fixed loan, $40,000 of those monthly payments is going to pay down the principal balance of the loan and is now equity for the homeowner. On the 50-year loan, because those payments are heavily weighted for interest in the beginning, after 5 years, they actually only have $8,500 in equity growth. So that might not be an incentive for somebody. However, when we look at the net worth over time, remember we put $150,000 down, our renter has no equity, and our two homeowners are between $350,000 and $320,000. Everybody's going to have a personal situation, and there's no right or wrong answer. Let's look at your specific numbers and walk through some scenarios to find out what makes the most sense for you. Is home buying the right decision? Is renting the right decision? Do you wait for a 50-year mortgage or do you dive into the pool?